Okay. Now, so let us consider a reflection on a line not terminated in Z0. So, in the communications, so the transmission line has to be terminated with a characteristic impedance Z0, but if a particular line is not terminated in a characteristic impedance Z0, so then what the phenomena occurs is, that is reflections. Let us see first. Now, V of Z is the voltage. Okay. So, this is equal to V plus e to the power of gamma Z plus V minus e to the power of minus gamma Z. That is the voltage. V of Z means the voltage at any point Z. Okay. That is V plus e to the power of plus gamma Z plus V minus e to the power of minus gamma Z. In this, whatever the plus term is there, this is the incident voltage, and whatever this V minus is there, this is the reflected voltage. Similarly, Iz is the current at any point Z. So, it is represented by V plus e to the power of plus gamma Z divided Z0 minus of V minus divided by e to the power of minus gamma Z. In this, so this term is the incident current and this term is the reflected current. So, the incident voltage is nothing but the voltage which you are applying at the transmitting end, okay, and the reflected voltage is the voltage which is reflected back from the receiving end back to the sending end. Similarly, the incident current is the current which is there at the input end at the transmitting end, and the reflected current is the one which is the current which is reflected from the receiving end. Now, let us see. So, what is meant by this incident voltage, reflected voltage, incident current and the reflected current with the help of this particular diagram. If the particular line is not terminated with the characteristic impedance Z0. Now, here whatever this complete line is there, so this is your incident voltage or the current you consider, and whatever this is there, so this I am taking it as a reflected. It may be reflected voltage or it may be a current. Now, this is a one particular cycle of your input voltage or the input current. Okay. So, what you are applying at the input end, but at the terminating end, if it is not terminated with the characteristic impedance, what happens is that whatever the signal you are sending, it is not completely absorbed by the receiving end, and some of the signals will be reflected back. So, this reflected is shown with this particular dotted lines at time instant t0. Okay. Now, at the time instant t equal to t by 8, suppose if this is the incident wave, that is your either the voltage or the current, then so this dotted line we are going to get as a reflected voltage or the current. Similarly, at the time instant t equal to 2t by 8, so this is the incident and this is the reflected one. Okay. And whenever the transmission line is there, okay, whatever is incident voltage and the reflected voltage and the incident current and the reflected current, sometimes you will refer it as incident wave or the reflected wave. So, this we are calling it as incident wave and this we are calling it as a reflected wave. And in any transmission lines, so this particular reflected wave we are not preferring, because whenever a particular signal is transmitted from the transmitter side, the entire signal has to be absorbed by the receiving end. If the entire signal is to be absorbed by the receiving end, then there is no losses occur in the transmission. If entire signal what you are sending, it is not absorbed by the receiving end, so then the sum of the amount of the signal what you are sending will be reflected back to the transmitting end, and this is an undesired parameters in the transmission lines, and this will happen when your transmission line is not terminated with the characteristic impedance Z0. So, we will come across one particular term, that is the reflection coefficient, and the reflection coefficient is defined as the ratio of reflected voltage at the load divided by the incident voltage at the load. That is, equal to ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. Okay. So, this one, if you substitute in the basic voltage and current equations of this particular transmission lines, so then we are getting V of Z is equal to this particular term and I of Z is equal to this particular term. Okay. And then, so this voltage divided by this particular current is going to give the reflection coefficient. So, let us consider the reflection and transmission coefficient of a transmission lines. So, the reflection coefficient is given by reflected voltage or the current divided by incident voltage or the current, and for a macro transmission line of length L. Okay, instead of considering the whole length, we are considering a small length L. Then this reflection coefficient is given by V tau L equal to V minus e to the minus gamma L. So, divided by V plus e to the power of gamma L. Now, replace this Z divided by L. Now, when you replace this particular Z divided by L, so whatever the basic equations of voltage and the currents are there, now V of L is equal to V of Z because we are replacing Z divided by L. So, therefore, we are calling it as a V of Z, replacing Z divided by L equal to V plus e to the power of gamma L plus V minus e to the power minus gamma L. Similarly, current is I of Z is equal to, because Z is replacing by L. So, this is V plus e to the power gamma L divided by Z naught, V minus e to minus gamma L divided by Z naught. Okay. Therefore, the load impedance is given by ZL equal to VL divided by IL. Okay. VL divided by L means, so the equation number 2 divided by equation number 3. This is equation number 2, so divided by equation number 3. Then, for simplification of these particular equations, I can write it as ZL divided by Z0, and the right hand terms I am writing it this. Next, what you are supposed to do is by compound and dividendo operations. So, these equations, so I can write it as ZL minus Z0, so divided by ZL plus Z0. Okay, here you are having ZL and Z0, but here I am getting ZL minus Z0 and ZL plus Z0. So, these are the things terms we are getting because of compound and dividendo operations. Similarly, here, so this term remains as it is, and this term for the compound or dividendo we are adding these particular terms. So, then by the simplification of this particular term we are going to get it as this. Then here this 2 and 2 will get cancel each other. So, then I am going to get this particular term. Now, so this ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. So, what this particular term is there? We are calling it as a reflection coefficient, that is tau L. And this tau L we can also write it as tau L into e to the power j theta, where this t is a magnitude term and this theta is going with the phase angle. Here one more problem. A macro transmission line has characteristic impedance of 120 plus J30 ohms is connected to a macro generator having a frequency of 2.5 GHz, and the line is terminated in a load impedance of Z0 is equal to 40 minus J10 ohms, and you have to determine the reflection coefficient, transmission coefficient, and verify tau square and verify this T. Now, let us calculate this particular TL. So, this is given by ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0, and in the given problem, so the Z0 is given and the ZL is given, substitute the values of ZL and Z0s. So, simplify these particular equations, we are going to get that value as equal to minus 0.523 minus j 0.1846. Then calculate the values of t equal to 2 ZL divided by ZL plus Z0, and then the ZL and Z0 values are given in the problem. Substitute the values, I am going to get the value as, after simplification, the value is 0.477 minus j 0.1846. Now, it is asking the problem that verify these particular values. Verification of t equal to 1 plus tau L. Now, consider 1 plus tau L, 1 plus, so the tau L value you have calculated in this. Okay. So, here what you are doing is t is equal to 1 plus tau L, this 1 plus tau L I am writing here, this tau L value is calculated here, that is 1 plus, so this value right, and after simplification of this 1 plus this particular term, I am going to get the values as 0.477 minus 0.J1446. Okay. Remember here once again. Now we have to verify, because as per this we have to verification of t. T is equal to 1 plus tau L. I am writing it as consider 1 plus tau L. This tau L value you have calculated here. Substitute the value here. When you substitute, then you simplify it, I am going to get it as 0.477 minus J0.1846. This value is equal to our T. Okay. So what the T, what it is? 0.4. Now, so this value and these values are same. So therefore, we can say that we have verified this particular data. Consider the verification of the another term, that is T square is equal to ZL divided Z0 into 1 minus tau L square. Now consider, now first calculate this T square and then calculate this one, then compare the values. If both are satisfied, then you can say that the verification has been done. The T square is equal to already calculated the values of T, then square of that one will be 0.5114 at an angle of 211.70 whole square. If you square this particular term, I am going to get, so these values. Then consider the right hand side term, that is Z divided by Z0 into 1 minus tau L square. Now ZL divided by Z0 into 1 minus tau L square. So tau L value is 0.5547 at an angle of 199.44 whole square. So these values, if you square it and simply square it, we are going to get these values. So then, if you simplify this particular value, I am going to get it as 0.7605 minus 0.1931. Then, after further simplification, I am going to get this particular value as 0.2613 at an angle of minus 0.4234. So this value is equal to T square. I mean to say that here, so the T square value what we have calculated is 0.26515 at an angle of 42.34, and here also the T square value what we are getting it as 0.26 into 13 at an angle of 42.34. So therefore, we can say that we have verified and the value is right. Okay, this is how you can solve the problems. Let us consider the relation between the reflection coefficient and the transmission coefficient. Now the reflection coefficient is represented by tau equal to the ratio of reflected voltage to the incident voltage. So this is equal to VR, where VR is the reflected voltage and VR is the incident voltage. So this reflection coefficient can also be calculated VR into e to the power of gamma L. So divided by Vi into e to the power of minus gamma L. And so this can be also be calculated from the ratio of ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0, where the ZL is the load impedance and Z0 is the character impedance of the transmission lines. Now, when the transmission line is terminated by a matched load, that is, this ZL is equal to Z0. Okay? In that particular case, Zin equal to ZL is equal to Z0, and at that time this T, the reflection coefficient becomes equal to zeros. Okay? That is, when a line is terminated by a matched load, that is, when your load impedance is matching with the characteristic impedance, then the reflection coefficient is going to be 0. Then the transmission coefficient is represented by T. This is equal to calculated by V is equal to T is equal to VL divided by Vs into e to the power minus gamma L. So that is, it can be calculated in terms of the ratio of the voltages, or also it can be calculated in terms of the ratio of the impedances, that is 2ZL divided by ZL plus Z0. Okay? So that is this T is equal to 1 plus tau. Then power transmitted to the matched load is equal to incident power minus reflected power. Then, so dividing the whole equation by the incident power, then PL divided incident power equal to incident power minus reflected power divided incident powers. So then, here this incident power and incident power is going to be 1, then reflected power divided incident power. You know that the reflected power divided by incident power is nothing but the tau, that is, this is equal to 1 minus tau squares. Then you can write it as PL equal to 1 minus tau square into incident power. Okay, so this is the power which is delivered to the load. Let us consider the relation between the reflection coefficient and the transmission coefficient. Now the reflection coefficient is represented by tau equal to the ratio of reflected voltage to the incident voltage. So this is equal to VR, where VR is the reflected voltage and VR is the incident voltage. So this reflection coefficient can also be calculated VR into e to the power of gamma L. So divided by Vi into e to the power of minus gamma L. And so this can be also be calculated from the ratio of ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0, where the ZL is the load impedance and Z0 is the character impedance of the transmission lines. Now, when the transmission line is terminated by a matched load, that is, this ZL is equal to Z0. Okay? In that particular case, Zin equal to ZL is equal to Z0, and at that time this the reflection coefficient becomes equal to zeros. Okay? That is, when a line is terminated by a matched load, that is, when your load impedance is matching with the characteristic impedance, then the reflection coefficient is going to be 0. Then the transmission coefficient is represented by T. This is equal to calculated by V is equal to T is equal to VL divided by Vs into e to the power minus gamma L. So that is, it can be calculated in terms of the ratio of the voltages, or also it can be calculated in terms of the ratio of the impedances, that is 2ZL divided by ZL plus Z0. Okay? So that is this T is equal to 1 plus tau. Then power transmitted to the matched load is equal to incident power minus reflected power. Then, so dividing the whole equation by the incident power, then PL divided incident power equal to incident power minus reflected power divided incident powers. So then, here this incident power and incident power is going to be 1, then reflected power divided incident power. You know that the reflected power divided by incident power is nothing but the tau, that is, this is equal to 1 minus tau squares. Then you can write it as PL equal to 1 minus tau square into incident power. Okay, so this is the power which is delivered to the load. Okay, now let us consider the various losses in the transmission lines. In the transmission lines, we will come across 5 losses. One is attenuation loss, second is the reflection loss, the transmission loss, return loss, and the insertion loss. Now, let us consider the first one, the attenuation loss. Attenuation loss is a measure of power loss due to the signal attenuations when it is passing through a channels. So this is given by 10 log of input energy minus reflected energy at the input divided by the transmitted energy to the load. So therefore this you can write in terms of expression form 10 log of Vs square minus Vr square. Vs square is the input energy and the reflected energy is Vr square. So divided by transmitted energy to the load is given by Vs square minus Vr square into e to the power of minus 2 alpha L, and this value is 8.686 into alpha L, that is attenuation loss is given by 8.68 into alpha L. Then second loss is the reflection loss. The reflection loss is given by 10 log of input energy divided by input energy minus reflected energy. So this is equal to 10 log of 1 divided by 1 minus tau square. How you are getting this one is that input energy divided by input energy is going to be 1, and then input energy divided by reflected energy is going to be tau. So therefore this is equal to 1 over 1 by tau square. So this can also be written as, or it can be also be calculated from 10 log of s plus 1 whole square divided by 4s, where this s is the standing wave ratio. Now the third loss is the transmission loss. The transmission loss is calculated from 10 log of input energy divided by the transmitted energies. So this can be once again rewritten as 10 log of Vs square divided by Vs square minus Vr square into e to the power of minus 2 alpha L. Okay, so then 10 log of e to the power 2 alpha L divided by 1 minus 2 square. So, this can also be, you can write it as 8.686 alpha L and plus 10 log of 1 divided by 1 minus 2 square, where 8.66 alpha L, what it is there, you are calling it as attenuation loss, and this you can call it as a reflection loss. So, that means to say that the transmission loss is sum of the attenuation loss and the reflection loss. Now, let us solve one problem on the relation between reflection coefficient and transmission coefficients. The problem is a microwave line has a characteristic impedance of 100 at an angle of 53.13 ohms. When it is terminated by an unload load impedance ZL, that is we do not know the value of ZL, then the transmission coefficient was observed to be 1.09 at an angle of 35.34. Now, I have to find out the reflection coefficient tau and the terminating load impedance ZL. Now, for us in the given in the problem, the given value ZL has been given and the transmission coefficient has been given, and we know the relation between the reflection coefficient and the transmission coefficient. So, the reflection coefficient is equal to transmission coefficient minus 1 and the transmission coefficient value is given. So, this value minus of 1 we are going to get it as minus of 0.111 plus j 0.6304, and this value converted into a polar form we will get it as 0.64 at an angle of 100 degrees. Okay. So, this is what has been asked in the given problem, that is reflection coefficient. Now, let us calculate the terminated load impedance. Now, we know that the reflection coefficient is given by ZL minus Z0 divided by ZL plus Z0. Then by compound dividend operations, we can write it as 1 plus 2 divided by 1 minus 2. Then ZL plus Z0 plus ZL minus Z0 and ZL plus Z0 minus ZL plus Z0s. So, if you simplify this one, so you will get the values as ZL divided by Z0s. Therefore, ZL equal to Z0 into 1 plus 2 divided by 1 minus 2, and this tau value you have to calculate it. So, that is 0.11 plus j 0.6304. Substitute these values. If you simplify, I am going to get the values as 85.36 plus at an angle of 118.03 degrees. Now, convert it into rectangular form. Okay, then it becomes 40.11 plus j 75.35. So, this value is the terminating load impedance. Okay, now let us consider one more problem. The primary constants for a coaxial cable at 1 gigahertz are L equal to 250 nanohenry per meters, that is the inductance is given, and the capacitance is 95 picofarad per meters, and K equal to 0.06 ohms per meter and G equal to 0. Determine the attenuation factor, phase constant, phase velocity and relative permittivity. Now, first calculate the characteristic impedance, that is Z0, this is equal to root of L by C, substitute the values of L and substitute the values of C. So, this is going to be 51.3 ohms. Then attenuation factor is calculated from alpha is equal to K divided by 2Z0. So, substitute the values of K and 2 into Z0, it is going to be 5.8 10 to the power of minus 4 Napiers per meters, and this if we convert into dBs, it is going to be 5.08 into 10 to the power minus 3 decibels per meters. Then phase constant is represented by beta, this is equal to omega into root of LC, where omega is equal to 2 pi f into root of LC. Substitute all the values, 2 pi, frequency is given 1 gigahertz, that is 1 into 10 to the power of 9, and the values of L and the values of C if you substitute and simplify, we will get 30.6 radians per meter. Then phase velocity. So, the phase velocity is given by 1 by root of LC, substitute the values of L and substitute the values of C. So, if you simplify, I am going to get the values as 2.05 into 10 to the power of 8 meters per second. The permittivity we are supposed to calculate represented by epsilon r. Since we know that C is equal to root of ER into VP, and we are supposed to calculate these values, the root of ER equals C divided by root of VP, therefore ER is equal to C square divided by VP. Substitute the values of capacitors, what it is given in the problem, then VP is calculated from these equations. Okay, then I'm going to get the values 439 into 10 to the power of 6. Then power loss is calculated by P in into 2 alpha into M. Okay, P in is given in the problem, so that is 500 watts into 2 into alpha already calculated. Okay, the length is given as 10 meters in the given problem. Substitute all the values, we are going to get it as 5.85 watts. Okay, so these are all the unknown parameters which have been asked in the problem.